Hi there, musitrature recaps here. Today, I'm discussing a movie called The Forever Purge. The film kicks off with Juan and Adela, a Mexican couple, trekking across the desert. They arrive at a house near the US border, paying smugglers to help them cross illegally. After handing over the fee, a man reveals a hidden passage, guiding the couple down into a dungeon to join a group of refugees. Their escort, a young boy, navigates them through narrow stone corridors. Although they briefly lose him, Adela eventually finds their guide again. Crossing to the other side of the fence, the boy bids farewell, advising them to follow the path marked by roses if they run into trouble. Fast forward 10 months to the day before Judgment Night, and we find a couple on the run in Texas. Juan is working as an assistant to wealthy horse breeder Caleb Tucker. At one point, Caleb's son, Dylan, attempts to showcase his horse handling skills but fails miserably. Juan steps in to effortlessly calm the agitated horse, leaving Dylan both frustrated and resentful, unable to accept that a migrant outperformed him. Meanwhile, Adela is the deputy manager at a diner where she excels at training new refugees. As the countdown to Judgment Night begins, everyone prepares in their own way. Some seek fortifications, others arm themselves and gear up to roam the streets. Juan and Adela continue to work, striving to earn extra money. Dylan, however, persistently needles Juan with prejudiced and sometimes blatantly racist comments about their Hispanic heritage. As the dreaded Judgment Night approaches, Caleb makes a move, giving his workers extra pay to ensure their safety. He also takes a moment to advise Juan not to take Dylan's behavior to heart, as deep down he's actually a decent guy. Interestingly, one of Kirk's workers refuses to use the money for defense and heads home instead. An hour before the chaos begins, Adela and Juan step out of their house to rendezvous with TT, who's ready to pick them up in a school bus. Together with fellow migrants, they head to a specially protected shelter, complete with professional security, in hopes of weathering the storm. Meanwhile, the Tucker family, Caleb, Harper, Dylan, and pregnant Emma, hunker down in their home, fortified with metal bars on windows and doors. As the mayhem commences, the TV blares out the rules, emphasizing the absence of police and emergency services until morning. The city, like the rest of the country, descends into utter chaos. People act without fear of repercussions, unleashing a wave of bloodshed, robbery, and violence. For Juan and Adela, this is their first Judgment Night, leaving them anxious yet hopeful for the protection that promises peace. On the flip side, the Tucker family seems carefree, enjoying dinner, dancing, and light-hearted fun while they await the dawn. The only one on edge is Dylan, who diligently monitors the premises via security cameras. In an unexpected twist, he realizes an intruder has breached their barn, prompting him to investigate further. Amidst the turmoil, Adela seeks solace on the shelter's rooftop, unfazed by the surrounding chaos, as such intense nights are a common occurrence back in her home country of Mexico. At some point, a woman on guard duty spots a motorcade approaching, announcing their sinister intent to rid the United States of non-white people. It's a tense situation, and Adela readies her rifle, even hopping into one of the wagons to see captives in dire straits. Her finger hovers over the trigger, but a fellow guard advises caution, highlighting the potential for a disastrous escalation. As dawn breaks, the curfew lifts, signaling the end of Judgment Night. Streets are strewn with the fallen, yet orderlies work diligently to restore some sense of normalcy. Adela, unfazed, heads to work, tuning out the TV's news broadcast. Unbeknownst to her, a journalist's life is taken, the victim of the chaos that's gripped the nation. Amidst the unfolding chaos, Adela remains focused, donning headphones as she heads to the workshop. However, an eerie realization hits her: there are far fewer workers than before. Stepping outside, she stumbles upon a bizarre cage with a trapped goat. Her noble instincts kick in, but her good deed takes a dark turn as she becomes ensnared. But hold on, here comes the dramatic twist. Two menacing figures, sporting eerie bunny masks, lurk nearby, planning an ill-fated demise for Adela. Armed with a remote-controlled butchery pistol, they're determined to end her life. Just in the nick of time, their plans are thwarted as a timely arrival by the boss leads to a showdown. Chaos erupts, and Adela's courage shines as she assists in neutralizing the threat alongside Darius. Yet, the unexpected occurs, the cops show up and arrest them both. It seems Darius and Adela have inadvertently breached the fundamental law of the Doomsday. Dylan, in a brave move, removes all protection from structures and inspects the barn. Little does he know, a tense confrontation is brewing as armed individuals, led by none other than Kirk, encircle him. Unbelievably, it's revealed that a stable worker, driven by resentment, has joined the anarchists, seeking revenge against the Tucker family for their mistreatment. As the tension mounts, Juan and his buddy TT arrive at the ranch, only to be met with a shocking sight: the Tucker family has been taken hostage by the ruthless gang. Without hesitation, Kirk ruthlessly ends Caleb's life. In a heart-pounding exchange, Juan and TT take swift action, firing at the criminals. But the danger isn't over yet, as more thugs close in. With no choice, the Tucker family, along with TT and Juan, escape in a truck. A frantic attempt to reach Adela through a call proves futile, but relief follows as a diner worker contacts Juan, revealing Adela's detainment at the police station. Meanwhile, Emma, Dylan, and Harper join forces with Juan to mount a daring rescue mission for Adela. Their journey takes an unexpected turn as they encounter a roadblock, prompting them to leave the truck. The truck's passengers, Dylan and his pregnant wife, remain behind. In a separate, harrowing van ride, Adela and Darius are captive alongside others. The grim reality sets in: a gang of ruthless thugs now dominates the city. These criminals have declared that the Judgment Night is endless, exploiting the chaotic environment in the absence of law enforcement. Hold on to your seats, because things take a deadly twist. A thug launches a grenade at the police van, resulting in a chaotic overturn. Amidst the turmoil, a sinister figure with a swastika targets Adela, but Darius springs into action, putting an end to the threat permanently. Their paths fatefully cross with Juan and his team, marking a turning point in the tale. The group unites and embarks on a race against time, making their way to the safety of the truck. In this gripping segment, we find ourselves in the midst of intense action. Dylan is quick to notice the menacing presence of thugs closing in on the truck, all eyes on him. Fueled by determination, he courageously arms himself and steps out to shield his expectant wife. The confrontation unfolds, resulting in the demise of two assailants, effectively neutralizing the threat. With the danger subsided, Dylan proceeds to the police van, extending a helping hand to others as they climb aboard. Meanwhile, Darius exhibits a different pace, recognizing the importance of safeguarding his newfound family. Adela, understanding his responsibility, entrusts him with her firearm. As the city descends into chaos, communication lines falter, and law enforcement succumbs to the very criminals they once pursued. In the face of this grim reality, our group makes a crucial decision to venture out of the city, seeking refuge at a roadside motel. As Emma tidies up, TT and Harper embark on a quest for sustenance. Amidst their search, Harper stumbles upon an intriguing anarchist flag, a symbol of the tumultuous times. The broadcast reveals a shocking revelation: the criminals have united, forming a crime syndicate, vowing to perpetuate their reign of terror under the guise of Judgment Night forever. Their sinister objective? To cleanse the United States of non-white citizens, aiming to restore a misguided notion of greatness and independence. The gravity of the situation deepens as news of martial law echoes across the nation. In a glimmer of hope, Canada and Mexico extend a helping hand, opening their borders for a brief 6-hour window to aid refugees. Energized by this lifeline, our group rallies to seize the opportunity and embark on a journey to Mexico. As others rest, Juan and Dylan engage in a candid discussion about prejudice. Dylan, revealing his complex perspective, acknowledges that differing cultures, beliefs, and religions can hinder harmonious coexistence. He cautiously advocates for maintaining distinct racial boundaries for the sake of safety, a sentiment met with understanding from Juan. As our group approaches the city's entrance, a menacing gang of motorcyclists launches an attack on their truck. TT and Juan prepare to defend themselves, but the odds are stacked against them as more dangerous foes emerge. Quick thinking by Harper averts disaster as she unveils their flag, a symbol of solidarity with the concept of the eternal doomsday. Recognizing an ally, the motorcyclists retreat, allowing our group to pass unharmed. The journey leads the group to El Paso, a border city neighboring Mexico. Arriving just 3 hours before the state borders seal shut, they are met with an unexpected and ominous sight. The new founding fathers have deployed a formidable military detachment with a grim mission, to quell violent protests and eliminate anyone carrying a weapon. The group is compelled to abandon their truck and navigate through chaotic, narrow streets. Survival becomes paramount, leading them to take down anyone who dares to approach. A chilling encounter at a cinema is disrupted by a tank's destructive firepower. In the chaos, Adela and Emma become separated from the group and opt to continue their perilous journey together. Traversing grim and corpse-strewn rooms, Adela valiantly defends herself and the pregnant Emma against their attackers. Amidst the turmoil, Adela's sharp instincts lead her to a significant discovery, a graffiti depicting a rose on a wall, a symbol that holds the key to their salvation. Here, Adela opens up to Emma about her past, revealing her involvement in the Women's Defense Squad and her relentless efforts to thwart the spread of chaos. Faced with escalating threats and dwindling strength, Adela and her husband were forced to seek refuge in the United States. TT, Juan, Dylan, and Harper, too, spot the roses adorning the walls, and they diligently follow these markers, hoping for a rescue. At a certain point, they find themselves surrounded by the menacing figure of Elijah, who extends an invitation to the white members of the group, a gruesome task to rid America of Hispanics and prove their loyalty to the cleansing ideology. When both Harper and Dylan firmly reject this horrific demand, Elijah's girlfriend takes a deadly shot at TT. The military soon takes notice of the commotion and commands them to surrender their weapons, but the thugs defy the order, opting for a violent confrontation. A hail of bullets ensues, resulting in the demise of most of Elijah's group. A fierce battle between Juan and Elijah's girlfriend culminates in her demise. Meanwhile, Adela and Emma find refuge in a shelter, but initial anxiety gives way to relief as Juan, Harper, and Dylan join them. The refugees rally together, readying themselves for the intended journey to Mexico, only to have their hopes dashed. On the airwaves, distressing news spreads. Supporters of the never-ending doomsday have managed to obliterate a military base, prompting the new founding fathers to withdraw their beleaguered troops. Mexico promptly seals its border, entrapping countless individuals without an escape route. The tenacious shelter manager refuses to concede defeat, dispatching an assistant to summon Chiago. The criminal syndicate, now in full control of the city, ruthlessly patrols the streets, announcing via loudspeakers their sinister plan to expel non-white populations from the entire nation. Enter Chiago, arriving on the scene to orchestrate the evacuation of the survivors. A member of a border-dwelling tribe that straddled Mexico and the United States, Chiago unveils a crucial revelation: their tribe had avoided erecting a wall in the intricate mountainous terrain. Armed with this invaluable knowledge, Chiago guides the group to the truck's precise location. However, their respite is short-lived, as Elijah, fueled by a thirst for vengeance over his girlfriend's demise, has recruited a fresh cadre of thugs, relentlessly pursuing our resilient survivors. The options for safely crossing the border are slim, prompting the refugees to make a difficult choice and split up. Harper is assigned to accompany the pregnant Emma for her protection. Juan, Adela, Dylan, Chiago, and his aides remain behind, ready to shield the other refugees and thwart the advancing thugs. As the adversaries draw nearer, the defenders open fire, successfully eliminating a number of criminals. With ammunition running scarce and depleting rapidly, the group is forced to retreat, seeking refuge in an abandoned hillside house. Chiago and his assistant deftly set up an ambush, outsmarting and disarming several thugs in the process. Noticing that some of the criminals are hot on the heels of the fleeing refugees, Chiago sets off to intercept them, ensuring the safety of his people. However, a tense confrontation ensues when Elijah seizes Adela as a hostage, brandishing a menacing knife. Swiftly, Juan and Dylan take down the remaining thugs, and employing a lasso, they apprehend and bring justice to the ringleader, Elijah. With all adversaries neutralized, the group proceeds calmly into the welcoming expanse of neighboring Mexico. Dylan locates his sister and wife at a makeshift camp, learning the heartwarming news that Emma has given birth to a baby girl. Filled with profound gratitude, Dylan expresses his appreciation to Juan and Adela in Spanish. As the film concludes, a final scene offers a view of the United States from the vantage point of space. The nation is engulfed in flames and shrouded in darkness, marking the culmination of their harrowing journey. And with that, the movie concludes. Thank you for watching.